Hello and welcome back to Bournemouth RC. Now tonight I'm going to be doing a little bit of an update to my steering servo. Now I have the V4 Kraton. The V1, 2 and 3 came with a adjustable steering servo saver. Now I've put the new servo in as per one of my videos a little while back. Brilliant little servo for £11, really strong. And it has improved the car. However, what I've noticed now is that when I am steering at slow speeds, the actual servo saver is taking up a lot of the effort from the servo and is wasting it. So I'm not getting the full potential out of this servo because the servo saver is far too loose. Now, as I said on the earlier ones, they were adjustable. I think people were complaining that they were coming unadjusted, coming loose as you were using them. I've seen on the earlier ones that people put actually a spare wheel nut underneath the servo saver adjuster to stop it from coming loose. So on the V4, they've got rid of it. Whether or not it's to stop that people complaining that it was coming loose or to save a little bit of money, I don't know, but they've got rid of it. Bit of a shame because I would have liked it. I wanted to tighten my steering servo up, my saver up, and I did a little bit of research and I actually finally found a way of doing it. I found a video of someone online who had done it, so I wanted to show you how to do it. So what I'm going to do is first of all show you what I mean by the steering, by the servo saver taking up all the effort. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I mean with the car on the ground. Now, as you can see, the servo's moving absolutely fine, nice and quickly. Now, if I just put a little bit of weight on those tyres, you can still see the servo moves absolutely fine, but all the effort is wasted in that servo saver inside there. So what I'm going to do now, strip it all down and show you how to tighten that, even though this one's not adjustable. Okay, so now we've got everything loose, we can simply lift that up, slide that up out of the way. I'm going to move the car out of the way now so I can show you what we're going to do here to tighten up this servo. And as you can see here, I can actually with my hands open that servo, and that's what we want to stop. So I'm going to move the car out of the way. Okay, so now we've got everything out of the way. What we want to stop is the amount of movement in there. Now you can see I can pretty much squeeze that all the way up. Now, this spring here is what puts the tension on there. As I say, on the old ones you had a little nut you could wind up there. However, this doesn't have it. So we're going to have to think of another way of doing it. And what I've come across online is simply getting some Circlips over the top of that and underneath behind that washer and pushing the spring down that way. So that's what I'm going to try and do today. To get these apart, they're full of Loctite, and from what I hear, every time someone tries to get them apart, you end up damaging the plastics. But you would have to grip hold of that, get a socket onto there, and turn, because you can't get a socket on the other end because that's in the way. So let me grab the Circlips and I'll show you what to do. Okay, so I've just got a box of Circlips here, all of different sizes. Now what I've done is I found a Circlip that I'm hoping will be the right size. It is obviously smaller than the nut because you don't want it to push past the nut, but it's what I think the actual diameter inside will there be, and to do that I've just basically gone around that hole in the nut there to see if it's the right size. Now, a pair of Circlip pliers. Now if you don't have these, you could manhandle this around it, because all you got to do actually is just get it over the top. So circlip pliers are opposite, so when you squeeze in, it actually widens that up there. So all I want to do is get that around the top of that nut to start with. Then find a socket that goes over the top of that nut. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push that circlip down so it clips in behind the washer. Now I don't know if I can do this by hand or I'm going to need to give it a bit of a whack. There we go, it's gone in by hand. And as you can see, that's now behind that washer, and it has created the size of the gap of one of these circlips between the washer and the nut, tightening this up. Now it's still too loose, so what I'm going to do is repeat the process until I'm happy with the amount that's on there. Now these circlips not the most accurate of measurements, but that's all I've got here. So they are the internal diameter $12 mm. 11 mil, sorry. So internal diameter of these ones here are 11 mil. So I'm just going to repeat the process again. They're always weird to get used to, these circlip pliers, because they work the opposite way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm also going to go opposite from where I just went. Okay, so that's 2 on there now. Here's a lot tighter. It's still a little bit too loose for my liking. So I'm going to go for another one. Make sure you work it up and down a few times, because that'll just allow them to sit in properly right underneath that nut. So now I've got 3 in there, and although there is a little bit of play there, it takes a hell of a lot more force to turn. So I think I'm really close, but I am going to go for one more. Okay, so I've now gone for 4 underneath there. That now, there is still a little bit of play there, but you do have to force it a lot harder. So I'm happy with that now. That's taken up pretty much all the free play sack play that was in there. So now all I've got to do is chuck it back together and test it. Okay, so that's everything back up together now. We've got the steering servo back in there nice and tight. So we give that a go, and we've got a lot smoother movement through to the wheels and a lot more power, and we're not wasting any of that through the servo saver. Now if I grab hold of the wheels, we still have plenty of power there with the wheels as we are. So I'm really pleased with that. I'll go out and give it a bash, give it a bit of a try, and I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so we're all done tightening up that servo saver. I'm really pleased with what it's done so far, and for the sake of a couple of pence on those Circlips, I will put a link to where I got that box of Circlips. Now that box of Circlips has got loads of different sizes in. They're just handy for me to have about anyway, so that's why I just got a box around in different sizes. But the ones I put in there had 11mm internal diameter, and they seem to fit on there really well. I needed 4. You put however many you think you need, depending on how tight you wanted it. I wanted it reasonable tight, but also enough to give a little bit of play on those really hard landings. Mine was quite loose to start with. I don't know whether it just worked loose or the spring was loose. I thought mine was particularly loose to start with, so that's why I wanted to do it. I need 4. See how many you need to how you want it to go. You could lock it up tight and just keep putting them in there until the spring can't move, but it's really not advisable because you will kill your servo pretty quickly. I've made mine reasonably tight, but still with a little bit of play there if needed. So that's it from Bournemouth RC tonight. Please make sure you subscribe to the video if you like them, and thank you very much.